If you're non-technical and you're looking to upskill in AI whilst getting a certification for free, then this video is absolutely for you. If you're new here, my name is Steph. I am a sustainability lawyer by day, and I like to try and spend at least 2 hours a month, if not more, upskilling on my particular industry area, which is legal tech and sustainability. Last week, I actually spent 4.5 hours, yes, 4.5 hours, learning the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure AI Foundations course. And then I spent an additional hour doing the free certification exam that you can do between now and October 31st, 2025. So I'm here to tell you in less than 10 minutes what the actual course was about and whether I think it's worth your while to do it or not. If you like this type of content, please do make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get straight into it. So I want to start off this video on a really positive note, and let's actually just talk about whether I think this course is worth it or not. So what are the pros and cons of doing this course? Pros first, I mean, it's free. That has got to be a really obvious pro. Another pro, it's certified. I mean, what's the point, or not necessarily what's the point, but I think especially if you're looking to evidence to people that you are upskilling, getting certified is a really easy way for you to evidence it. And while sometimes certifications can cost, anything like £49 or $49 or something like that, all of those amounts of money can really add up. So I think if you can find free, reputable certifications, why not take them, right? Another pro, at least to me, was the amount of time it took to complete this course. So I mentioned that the course took about 4.5 hours to study. I do definitely think you could have done it faster if you wanted to. Or it could have taken you longer, depending on how you are as a person, but I did indeed take about 4.5 hours. I decided to study the course over 48 hours, so I spent about 3 hours on the first day and then an hour and a bit on the second day, and then I did the actual exam on my third day because I wanted to give myself a bit of a break between when I finished studying and when I did the exam. That being said, I think 4.5 hours is a really reasonable amount of time, and you could very easily have done 30 minutes or 40 minutes a day over the course of a week, as opposed to condensing it all into 2 days like I did. So you definitely don't have to do it like that, but I think 4.5 hours is a good amount of time for a certification. So 3 pros so far: the price, the fact that it's actually certified, I think that's amazing, and the fact that it was only 4.5 hours in terms of study time, which I think is really good. The final thing that I think was a pro, but this just might be because of how I learn and the kind of things that I personally use AI for, the modules. So there were 8 modules within this course, and the first 5 modules, I believe, were all about AI fundamentals, generative AI, deep learning, machine learning, all of that sorts of stuff outside of the Oracle platform, which I think was really, really helpful. The final 3 modules were Oracle platform specific. I'll be honest, I made more notes on the first 5 modules, right? But like I said, I'm a non-technical person. So I think if you are a bit more technical, then maybe you would have cared a bit more about the final 3 modules. I don't know. Either way, I personally think the course overall was really, really good. Cons, I don't know that I have that many. Okay, actually, no. Let me be fair. Let me be balanced. At the beginning, in the introduction, they made some kind of statement where they were basically like, this course is for everyone, right? So whether you're really, really technical, whether you code, whether you're a software engineer or whatever, or software developer rather, or whether you're just someone who's interested in AI, then the course is for you. They said something to that effect in the introduction video. And after the first module, I did kind of feel like, okay, yeah, this is really interesting. I'm learning, this is really good. Then I got to the deep learning and the machine learning modules. And there was Python, there was all sorts of coding. We didn't actually have to do coding, I should say, so let me not scare anyone, but we were watching a demo of someone doing that sort of coding. And I just thought, this is really technical. So I don't quite know whether it's possible to actually pitch a course at a level where it is actually for everyone. But I do just want to reassure you and say that I am not a technical person. I definitely learned something from the course. This video is not sponsored by Oracle, they are not paying me to say this. I found the course beneficial. I actually enjoyed the course. So whilst there were a couple of modules that I felt were a little bit technical, overall, I think it was worth the time. So I would definitely recommend it. So what did I actually learn during the course? Well, I think the first thing that I really, really enjoyed was the way that they described what generative AI is. Now, I do a lot of upskilling pretty much on a weekly basis, to be honest. So learning what generative AI is wasn't a new thing for me, but I did like the way they put it down. So I made myself like a little graphic to just kind of remember it. So I'll slot it in here so you can see. But I really like the fact that they spoke about artificial intelligence as like an industry, as it were. And then within that, you've got the subset of machine learning, and they gave some really good examples of the types of things that we already see machine learning doing. So, for example, facial recognition. Like, you know, when if you're like an Apple user, if you've got like multiple photos with one person, it just randomly creates a folder of them. Stuff like that is machine learning. I thought that was really cool. But then there's obviously also like email spam filtering, which obviously we see a lot. Things like autocorrect, personalized recommendations on things like Netflix or Amazon Prime or wherever it is that you watch programs. Then within machine learning, there's a further subset called deep learning, right? So deep learning is more like self-driving cars, it's more like medical diagnoses, it's more like speech recognition, stuff like that. Then within that, there's a further subset, which is what we know as generative AI. And that's what a lot of people tend to think about when they think of like the ChatGPTs and other large language models that they might be using, right? And the whole idea behind generative AI, as the name suggests, is that it can create new content. But I think I just really like that within each module, it just really gave you like worked examples of things that you could think about. And I really, really appreciated that. Again, if I'm to give you another example, I think it was in the machine learning module, we looked at the various different like image recognition things that you could use machine learning for. And it made me think straight away about like my health insurance, for example, right? With my health insurance, whenever I'm putting in a claim, all I have to do is take a picture of the receipt. And when I take a picture of the receipt and I upload it, my health insurer then like draws out whatever the price is, the name of the company that I use, like the provider that I used, the date that I purchased this service, and then it submits that on my behalf. So it really reduces the time that it takes me to submit a claim. And it's actually one of the reasons why I've stuck with my health insurer for so long, because I actually just like the fact that that's really easy for me to do. So there's little things like that that artificial intelligence as a whole, but then machine learning as a subset, deep learning as a subset, generative AI as a subset can do to like, I guess, just improve your life a little bit, you know? So I thought that was really interesting. I don't know. So what were the actual 8 modules that I spoke about at the beginning of this video then? So like I said, the first 5 modules were very like AI foundation specific. The final 3 modules were Oracle cloud, like software specific, right? So the first module, I'm actually like looking down at my notes now. Yes, I handwrote my notes, even though I am a sustainability lawyer who works in the AI space. But I like handwritten notes. So the first module was AI foundations. So that just gave the definition of AI, like I mentioned before in my little graphic. So it's got the ability of machine learning to imitate human intelligence, which I really liked the way it kind of summarized that. And then it went into the machine learning module. So there it spoke about how machine learning is a subset of AI where algorithms are trained to learn from past data and predict outcomes for new data or identify trends. And then it goes into the deep learning foundations module. So that's a further subset of machine learning where algorithms are moduled to learn from complex data using neural networks. And then it goes into generative AI and LLM foundations. And the definition there is that generative AI is a type of AI that can create new content. So if I'm to think about what it was about the course that I actually really enjoyed, I like the way that it was structured. I've said this before quite a few times, but I really like when I'm learning factual information to listen to it. So I appreciated that the whole course was pretty much videos. I do believe there were like guide/transcript options. So if you wanted to read, you could absolutely do that. And I suppose actually it's good that there were those options. You could pick and choose, but I did the whole course via video content. The other thing that I really liked about the course was that they did do demos, but they showed you the demos. You didn't get to do them yourself. I don't know, I kind of feel like I might have learned it a little bit better if I had been able to do the demos by myself. That being said, I suppose nothing is stopping me from like just setting up an account and using the 30-day free trial that's available and testing the stuff out. So I suppose I could do that, but yeah. Anyway, that's just me thinking in real time. Point is, overall, I would say if you're not technical, but you're looking to upskill and you want a certification for free whilst you're doing it, this might be a good course for you to start off with. I should say, prior to doing this course, I had actually also done the Google AI Foundations course. So if you'd like me to do a little rundown of how I found that course as well, I'm more than happy to do so. But I did actually find that course to be quite helpful too. If you want me to do that, let me know down below. Otherwise, I'll be back again next week with more of my learnings.